As a teenager, I had a pretty good paying job as a telemarketer. Now, don't judge me. Every 2 weeks, I would receive an actual paycheck. This was before everything was automatic deposit. And since I had a decent amount of money saved up in the bank, and since I was definitely too lazy to go to the bank, every time I received a paycheck, I would stash it in a cupboard in my kitchen above the sink. And as time went on, I kind of forgot about those checks until one day my friend saw me stash another check in that cupboard. And he was shocked. He said to me, "How come you aren't cashing those in?" And I didn't really have a good answer other than I was too lazy to go to the bank. But he was shocked because obviously the normal thing to do is to cash in on your paychecks and to take what is rightfully yours. And when it comes to our paychecks in life, absolutely, we should cash those things in. However, when it comes to many other rights in our lives as Christians, there are actually many rights that we have that we should maybe not cash in on. My wife and I have been reading through 1 Corinthians separately, but then briefly coming together at night and to kind of share a takeaway. And one of the things kind of independently that we've both been struck by is a reoccurring theme that we've noticed. And so I'm going to read a few passages in 1 Corinthians, and as I do, I want to invite you to see if you can notice that same theme. So I'm going to start in 1 Corinthians 8. Be careful, however, that the exercise of your rights does not become a stumbling block to the weak. Therefore, if what I eat causes my brother or sister to fall into sin, I will never eat meat again, so I shall not cause them to fall. On the contrary, we put up with anything rather than hindering the gospel of Christ. What then is my reward? Just this, that in preaching the gospel, I may offer it free of charge, so as not to make full use of my rights as a preacher of the gospel. There's many more I could read, but did you notice a theme? In essence, Paul is choosing not to cash in on his rights or to use his freedoms in a way that will not build others up. So instead of cashing in on his freedoms, he is adopting a posture of humility by sacrificing his rights in order to love, in order to be accessible to people, to maintain a position, but he won't disqualify himself from having the relational capital or influence in order to speak into their lives. Now, someone could argue, someone could say something like this. Well, does that mean, are you telling me that I should just be a doormat and let people walk over me? This isn't what Paul is referring to. It's actually never the loving thing to do, to let someone walk over you in a way that is sinful. Right? Paul isn't talking about blatant sin issues that need to be confronted and stopped. Rather, he is referring to not using certain liberties, even though they may personally serve him well, if it's ultimately going to cause someone to stumble. Right? The question in our relationships often is that we must answer is this: not can we, but should we? Right? These incredible acts of humility demonstrated by Paul, it actually led to great power because it kept him in a position to have influence on countless of people. And so I'll leave you with this question. What right or what freedom that you possess may it actually be the loving thing to do not to immediately cash in on those rights?